Well, welcome everybody. It is Monday morning, July 28th, beginning of buy one, get one free on Wedgers for the next couple days of the month. I want to welcome our guest today, Dee Power from home office, who is going to be sharing with us a little program that she's taken to the field. Dee, I am actually going to turn this meeting over to you. And I'm wondering if I should make you co-host, or you should be able to share your screen if you'd
I
like
can
to.
share, Marisa. I'm good.
Perfect.
I'm ready to go. Okay, I always have a little bit of trepidation when I get ready to share. So y'all give me a thumbs up if you can see. I see. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. I don't
I
want
don't
to.
see anything yet, but yes, there it is.
There it is. Okay, fantastic. I had a fail once upon a time and it's traumatized me for life. I may have to tell y'all that when we're not recording, but yes, thank you so much for inviting me into your Monday morning team call. And yeah, we're going to be talking about mindset today. So you see on the screen the 3 C's of a winning mindset. Let me just introduce myself. If there's anybody here on the call that is not familiar with me, doesn't know me yet, my name is Dee Power. I am a field growth and development manager here at Pampered Chef Home Office. Super excited. We've had a restructuring recently, so I'm now supporting your National Executive Director Marie Friday. So congratulations on all of you guys promoting to a National Executive Director team. By the way, this is my first opportunity to congratulate you that in that achievement and accomplishment is reflective of all of you guys. And so just a little shout out before we get started. I'm going to tell you your organization has over 2009 or right at 2,924 consultants right now. That's huge. You've sold over $6 million in sales so far this year. That's where you are when I pulled your stats yesterday. That's amazing. You have over 100 directors and above. You've invited over 735 new consultants into the business so far in 2025. I think about all of the lives that you've changed. You've given the opportunity to impact their families, themselves, their communities, all by offering the opportunity to join Pampered Chef. And I know that we're fresh off of conference. It was amazing to hear all of your takeaways as we were in the pre-call and really thinking about all of the energy, all of the excitement, all of the activation, right? Like Carolyn was talking about. And what does that mean for you? Like when you come back from conference and taking it back into your life and into your business and into your world. And so I think it kind of all starts with where's our mindset? You know, we heard a lot of wonderful things at conference, but what is it that you wanted to activate immediately? What set your hair on fire or got your heart beating fast or got you recommitted, like Leslie shared, to knowing that this was the sign that you're meant to be here and you're meant for more? And so I think that's a great place to start is our mindset, right? And so we're going to talk about what we like to say are the 3 C's: clarity, commitment, and courage. And with that, we're going to kind of dive into what that means and how it can transform what we think, and not just what we think, but what we're going to do and what that may mean for our success. So, I have found, you know, in my life, and I've been in training, I've been in sales for most of my adult life, that there's often a gap between what people know and what they do. What do you think causes that gap? Do y'all have any idea? And y'all can type in the chat. Fear, yeah, fear. Yeah. Where do you think the fear is living? 6 inches of real estate right here, right? Your mindset. These 6 inches are a very powerful place. And if we can get the gap filled, right? If we can figure out what we can do to affect our mindset, knowledge, or how we put it to action. Yeah, Annette. Yes. If we can figure that out, then we can close that gap, right? And we can take what we know and to drive it towards what we're going to do. So that winning mindset, thinking about that, that's what can help us be consistent with growth, with our resilience, because life is going to life, with our success and how we perceive it and how we can duplicate it and how we can share that with others. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's not just about thinking positive, even though positive thinking is important. It's about knowing what you want, right? That's the focus. That's the clarity part of it. It's about the commitment and consistency to what you're going to do. And then it's about courage, because somebody said it. Fear can hold us back. Being willing to take responsibility for our results, good and bad, because sometimes we give ourselves a lot of credit and responsibility for the bad. We don't sometimes give ourselves so much responsibility for the good. We think that was a mistake, a happy accident, just by happenstance. That's not because of us. So change can take courage. So that's what we're going to be talking about that today. So before we do that, I'm going to share something with you. You may have already seen in a training before, but I think it's a good reminder, even if you've seen it before, about how our brains work when we understand like actually what's happening with us. So there's a part of our brain, and it's called the RAS, the reticular activating system. I'm so glad I said that without stumbling over it. But I really want you to just think of this as like a bouncer in a club, okay? Because what the RAS is doing is it's taking the information that you're giving it and it's creating a filter for it. So it's determining what is important, what you need to pay attention to, what you need to let in, right? So what you're telling yourself, what you are communicating to your brain is what the brain is taking that filter and saying, hey, that's important. We got to do more of that. We got to pay attention to that. So that's what your RAS is doing. He's the bouncer in the club. He's deciding what's getting in and what's getting pushed out, right? So what do you think your brain's number one job is? Do y'all know? I didn't know you were going to be quizzed today. Like, wait, I didn't know this was up for Monday morning. I hope you've had your coffee. What do you think your brain's number one job is?
Guys, put it in the
Yeah,
keep you
there's Christy
safe.
going. Yeah, you got it. It's keeping you safe, 100%. So, what do you think, or let me just ask you this, do you think that your brain knows the difference between real and imaginary? I'm going to move y'all over here so I can see you. Do you think your brain, no, Cora, you're right. Is this real life or is this just a fantasy? That's not just the lyrics in Bohemian Rhapsody. That's actually real. If you tell your brain something often enough, it's going to believe it. And the other thing is, I'm not clicking, guys. So there's keeping it safe. It doesn't know the difference between real and imaginary. The other thing is our brain really, really responds to the things that we say and what we look at, the pictures in our minds, the stories that we're telling ourselves, especially when we're repeating it often enough. It's like those old pair of shoes that are super comfortable. It's going to slip back into them because that's what we're focusing on all the time. And it's going to default to that if it's familiar, even if you've got a new pair of shoes that are beautiful and gorgeous and are going to really set that outfit off, but you have to wear them a couple of times to get past the blister portion of it. The brain's going to want to default to the old pair of shoes. It likes what's familiar. So I'm going to do a little activity with you guys for a second. Thinking about that's how the brain works. It's going to focus on what you tell it to focus on. It's going to think that what is important is what you are telling it. I want you to look around unless you're driving, if you're driving, don't close your eyes for a second when we get to that portion. Be safe, 10 and 2. But I want you to look around your room or look around your environment right now. And I want you to notice everything that you see that's brown. Everything that you see that's brown, okay? And now, if you can close your eyes, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to tell me or write or type it down, take yourself off mute, everything that you saw that was red. Okay, you can open your eyes. Now look around, find the things that are red. You see, Okay, now you see red things, right? So let me just ask you, how hard was it to find the red things when you were looking for brown? Kind of hard, maybe? And let me just ask you this. When you were looking for brown, did you see anything that was tan and color it brown to help yourself be more successful, right? Or did you see when you started to look for the red, did you see anything that was burgundy or even hot pink or something and color it red to give yourself more success? So that's just a small little activity of your brain is going to work really, really hard to help you be successful and find the things you are looking for. Sometimes we have tapes in our head that are saying things like, man, I'm not good at booking, or nobody wants to book right now, or nobody wants to join right now. And then our brains will work hard to find ways to make that successful too. So yeah, our attitude determines our altitude 100%. So that was just kind of a little activity to kind of level set, like what we think about, what we focus on is really going to be the determining factor on how are we doing our business day to day. And guess what? Here's the thing is that we can reset all the time. Y'all heard us talk here about at Pampered Chef about a growth mindset. I love the book by Carol Dweck. In fact, it's on my list of books to reread this year because I think, I consider myself a lifelong learner, and there are things I have to be reminded of all the time. It may be something that I knew, but I've just taken my focus off. So I think that's a good reminder, whether you've read this book or other self-help books. It's important. And she talks a lot about growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. But I love the quote that she has. If you're not pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, you're doing something wrong, right? Because where is growth? It's outside of our comfort zone. So here's just a quick little snapshot of the differences, just as a reminder of what a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset is. So if you've seen this for the first time, you can kind of screenshot it or but there's a lot out there about this. But it basically boils down to the person with a growth mindset believes that their abilities can develop through hard work, that they believe that effort and attitude really matter, and that failure really is an opportunity to grow. I love sports, and I coached sports for years, played sports as a child. I've often said, people learn a lot more from their failures than they do from their wins, because you're going to examine what went wrong, right? And then fix it. So the difference, though, when you're over in a fixed mindset, is that you can believe that your abilities are innate or unchangeable. I'm either good at something or I'm not, right? I can or I can't. And it's just the way I was born or the way I was raised or the way I've always been. So failure really limits our abilities. It kind of keeps us in that box. I'm going to tell you that there is no doubt at all that success in life can be attributed to a growth mindset. But here's the best part about that is that a growth mindset can be learned. And with anything, the first step is awareness. But I don't want you to think, that if you haven't, or if you've fallen back into a trap, that that's the way it's got to be from now on. You can level set today, Monday morning, July 28th. I'm changing it all over again. I'm resetting again. You may have had a bad morning. You can reset right now. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. You can reset. And I'm going to tell you right now, having a winning mindset, developing that growth mindset, it's not a one and done. It's not like I did that back in 1972 and I never have to do that again. This is constant. It is like a muscle that you are building, doing reps, daily choices, and the people that you surround yourself with, the people in this call right now. So we're always working on it. Now, I know you guys have seen this, right? Your belief triangle. So this is another great foundational moment just to remind yourself that your beliefs shape your actions, and then your actions create results, and then results reinforce your beliefs. And you can turn this triangle on its axis, because sometimes our beliefs may not be right where we want them to be. You may be like, I need that sign, but you're willing to show up to conference. So you actually took a step out and faith and got there, right? And you were willing to open up and listen and be influenced. and be persuaded that things can be different. So sometimes the actions go on top, and then you get results and they reinforce your belief. So it's so important to understand this. Oh my gosh, Carolyn, what an incredible testimony. I love that. Fueled your belief, going for 2 categories next year. And I have no doubt, very fact that you put that out in writing, I have no doubt that that is going to happen for you. You've declared it for yourself, you're seeing it for yourself, and you're going and you told other people. So, when we talk about what we're telling ourselves, where our mind is, what are you telling yourself? Kind of a moment of truth here, right? Carolyn's been bold and shared some things that she used to tell herself in the reset. What are you telling yourself? How are you reinforcing your belief to sell, to book, to grow your team? Remember, good stuff in, good stuff out. Junk in, junk out. We match our energies. And so I want to talk kind of about the elephant in the room. Let's just get it out on the table for a second. When we talk about our challenging, our limiting beliefs, like Carolyn was bold out there, things that she used to think, is there something right now that may be deep down hidden in your heart? You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to even admit it, but it's there. It's niggling in the back of your brain and it's taunting you. I want today to be the day I'm going to say, you don't have to say it in the chat if you don't want to, but I want you to face it right now. Think about it. Is there something right now in your belief that you are telling yourself, a tape that's playing, that you need to turn that tape recorder off? You need to get a new tape playing. It could be something like, no one wants to join my team. No one wants to book. I'm not a good recruiter. I'm going to tell you, friends, if you are saying that to yourself right now, you're not alone, because people doubt themselves. And we hear that all the time, but it doesn't make it true. And sometimes those tapes have to be addressed so we know how to turn them off and to reframe them. Because what happens when we have that limiting belief, whatever it may be for you, something's in your brain right now, that old tape playing, it can create it can affect our actions. So what happens out of your limiting belief that affects the actions that you're taking in your business? And that can even affect our results, right? So when we're challenging them right now, and oh my gosh, y'all are going to think that I set this up, that I asked Carolyn to post this. I did not. See, that's how things are so organic and it's real. Because I'm going to say you challenge them by looking at evidence of your past success or others right now, whether it's booking, selling, recruiting. That is the first place you look, because we know when we challenge our limiting beliefs, instead of seeing the struggles, we'll see opportunities. We'll reach across the aisle. We'll let them lose their power by saying, no, that's not right. I'm going to reframe that right now. So wherever it is that you're struggling with your belief, I want you to say, what is it? And how can I reframe it to make it a positive, more empowering statement, belief that will create different actions? It's going to give you a different result. It can even be something as simple as, people love hosting with me. When you create that kind of positive affirmation, when you realize, like, what can I learn when I get the no's? And how can I keep on moving? No doesn't mean never. How many of y'all said no before you said yes, right? To host or to join this opportunity. That evidence is right here in the room. That no doesn't always mean never. And then what can that do to change your actions, right? You can see every conversation as an opportunity. You can start looking for ways to connect the dots for people. When you hear that they have needs, that they have things in their life that they want, whatever that is, money, community, trips, bills to pay, skill sets, confidence, whatever it is that you can connect, the Pamper Chef could be the answer. And then the results can change as well. So it's that starting to reframe. But I just want to address it. If we have limiting beliefs, I don't want to just act like we don't. We want to address them. We want to hit them head first, right? We want to take control. As a baseball player, softball player, I used to tell my infielders all the time, play the ball. Don't let the ball play you. If you know anything about sports, you know, if you're a shortstop or second baseman, if you let the ball come in on you, it can take a bad hop. You want to be out there charging. Same with our beliefs. If we have something that's going on, we're going to face it head on and address it and reframe it. So that leads us into the 3 C's. So we've kind of got our head right. We know what we need to do. We know what we may need to address, continue to reframe. What is it with the 3 C's that really matter so much? Clarity, commitment, and courage. Well, first of all, with clarity, you know, Webster defines clarity as a quality of being easily understood, or the state of having a full, detailed, and orderly mental grasp of something. That's a lot of words to say, but I would like to know, because I think, you know, in all honesty, when we just have focus on what we want, what do you want out of July? What do you want out of this year with your business? What does that mean to you when you know what you want? It's if you were to step outside of your door right now and shoot an arrow, what would you hit if you didn't have anything to go for? Who knows, right? You could hit anything. You have no target. But if you have a target in front of you and then you're aiming for it, how much more likely are you to get it? So clarity. So why do you think clarity is so important in your business? I see you guys are chatting. I said, no, for 20 years, Leslie said. Then the timing was right. Yes, I went and found someone near. I love that, Leslie. You know what? The timing has to be right for everyone, right? And to understand why. So thinking about why is clarity important in your business. So if you feel like you know, tell us in the chat. Do you know what you want for this month or for the rest of this year? So be thinking about that, because I'm going to talk about a little bit more. I want to know a quick activity, really quick, 30 seconds. Tell me what it is that you love about your Pampered Chef business. Type in the chat, or you can take yourself off mute. What is it that you love about your Pampered Chef business? The people, Marie says, yes. Flexibility, the income. Yeah, the people. Qualified as a director team in July. Yes, Cheryl knows what she wants. Community, the opportunity to make an impact. Yes. Inspiring meal times. Love it. You guys are right on it. I think y'all said pretty much getting out of the house, changing lives one day. I love it. One at a time. Sharing my love of cooking, Paula says. So many things. I think we have most of them on the screen, and y'all may have said some things that I didn't even have on the screen. Great products. Yes. So many things that we love about our business. As many people as in this room, the Zoom room right now, there are things, and it could be even more than that. So I'm going to say, aren't you glad that somebody shared the business with you? Because that's really what the point of this exercise is to think about, what do we love? When we think about what we love about our business, we can talk about it. And that's why I'm reminding you of reconnecting of what you love about your business, because that's where it starts. That's the key, is what's in our heart, right? And that's so much easier to share when we are passionate. We are contagious. We attract people to us. Haven't you ever gone into a party and you see people having a great time in the corner? You're like, I want to go over there and find out what's going on. Well, the same is true with our business. When we are passionate about it, we can talk about it at ease. I bet every single one of you has a product that you know you could sell to anybody, anywhere, at any time, no matter what, even if they already own it. You could sell it to them again because you love it so much, because you use it so much, because it changed something in your food prep or your kitchen, whatever it is, cost of your, making a meal. I mean, I was a single mom and still am, but I had young kids. All 4 of my kids were still at home when I became a single mom, and it meant a lot to be able to stretch $1. So your passion is contagious. But have you ever had a time when you weren't feeling the love of your business? So I want to give you a little analogy. And I've had a weight loss journey myself, and I don't know if anybody has ever been on that. And it's not about even my body image. It was about my health. I started having grandchildren, and I wanted to be here for them, and I wanted to be able to be active with them and play with them. And I actually had a health scare that was a little bit of a wake-up call. I don't know if anybody's been on any kind of an exercise journey or a weight loss journey or any health journey at all, but I'll just use myself. You go all in, you get excited. And you set goals for yourself and you get going, you get this energy of what it's going to look like. I'm going to have more, or a vision of what it's going to look like. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to feel better, whatever it is. And it's fun to get started. But then something happens. Maybe the scale's not moving as quickly as possible. And I'm going to tell you, I wanted to get off my blood pressure medication. And I had a reality check that I'm not going to be able to get off my blood pressure medication. But do I stop my health journey? No, I don't, because there were other factors involved. So all of a sudden, kind of my motivation had dimmed for a minute, and I didn't feel as strong about it. It started to fade. And I don't know if anybody's been like that with your Pampered Chef business, but that happens. Momentum can fade. What do you do when it does? How committed are you to your goals when it does? Do you switch up your routine? Do you reach out for help? Do you get a new playlist? Do you start to celebrate some small wins to reignite some momentum to taking action? What is it? Or do you just lose your desire? Do you stop with your consistency? You didn't do your reach outs for 3 days, so I'm never doing it again. I didn't walk for a whole week after I came home for conference, guys. So I'm 4 years into my weight loss journey. So, and I maintained my weight loss for a while. I didn't walk for a whole week. And then on Saturday, I got my walking shoes on and I got back out there the day after perfect, right? So what do? You don't quit. And that's the part of it. When you love why you're doing what you're doing, when it makes sense to you, it can get you over those moments of stagnation, of not having the results that you want. So, just like with fitness or health or anything else, you can always recommit. You can always reset. You can always reignite the spark. So, if you have been in that moment, it's okay because we go through it. Whatever it is in our life is going to be in all areas of our life, but it doesn't mean that the reason you started isn't going to be something that you can get through and get on the other side and have another testimony, another answer to show the light for others. So I love this quote: people that love what they do will outlast those that solely love the results of what they do. So that's why I asked you, what do you love about your Pampered Chef business? When you remind yourself of why you love what you do, what it means to you, it can help you with those moments. And the second part is, what do you want and why do you want it? The why. So I asked you earlier about that. So I want you to take a moment to think about your personal why. Why are you getting out of bed every morning and doing this? Why did you show up to this call today? What's driving you? What's driving you even on the days that it's hard to reach out to potential hosts or team members, or having the difficult conversations with your team, or staying patient through challenges like tech glitches or anything like that? Hello. Or even pushing through slower months without giving up. Because without a strong why, it can be easy to lose that momentum. But here's something else I'm going to tell you that will fuel your motivation. I like to think of it as the why behind the why. So whether you tell us in the chat or you just write it down right now, when you write down your why are you doing your business? Yes, Chrissy says, I'm earning the Alaska trip. That's my why. I get up every day and work extra hard every day. So here's the why behind the why, Christy. Why do you want to earn the Alaska trip? We know what it is, but then the why behind the why. Because sometimes it's that second layer of the why that can really be the thing that catapults you into the next level of your business. So think about it. For all of you, whatever it is that you're writing down, it's the only trip my husband will go on with me and I'm earning it for him. Yes, the why behind the why. You're earning it for him. You're taking it with him. Powerful. And when you get to that why behind the why, I'm going to tell you that'll create a clarity and a focus that, like, you will be lasered in to what you're doing, and and help you get over the hard bumps. If you haven't gone through a hard time yet, guys, you will, because we all do. We are in sales. We're going to talk about that in a second. And it's not a merry-go-round. So thinking about why is your why, and that second, the why behind the why, really will help fuel your action. It's going to give you resilience to keep going. Now, the second C is commitment. And, the definition of commitment is really the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, right? I love this quote by Abraham Lincoln. Let's see if I pull it up. Yes. Commitment is what transforms a promise into a reality, right? So I want you to start thinking about the promise that you're making to yourself. What promise are you making to yourself for the next 30 days, 90 days, 6 months from now? So who wants a cruise like Christy does? Who wants to hit their sales goals for this year? Who wants to come to Savannah, Georgia? It's my home state in February. Who wants to help others start a business? So that commitment to that promise to your future self, right? So thinking about that, seeing that in your head, writing it down, being accountable to it. Because I'm going to tell you, how I said we're not on the merry-go-round. Maybe this is true for you, maybe it's not, but I've heard many people say, if I just had the perfect system, right? Well, there is no such thing as perfect, guys. And this job is not a merry-go-round, and it just doesn't revolve like that. I've heard actually from, and I never got the chance to meet her, but I've heard that she says this, and I've said this for years. Carol Verdu said, the key to making this business work is to stay on the roller coaster, right? You commit to the good times. You commit to the bad times. You commit to the process, no matter how long it takes. The process is not punishing you. The process is refining you. It is making you better and better and better. So when I say commit, I don't mean 100% commitment all of the time. I'll explain that in a minute. But I want you to think about that. When we think about commitment, when we think about people that do their jobs that require 100% commitment, you might say that 1% to 2% doesn't really matter. But only imagine if a pilot only committed to landing the plane 98% of the time. A pilot flies at an average of like 700 hours per year. So that's like 14 hours that he or she may not be all committed. I don't want to be on that flight on that day, right? Or even boiling water. Who knows what degree of water the water boils at? Who knows what? Do y'all know? I did not know. I had to look this up. So I think I skipped class that day. So does anybody know? It's okay. I'll tell y'all. It's 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, Donna was in. Donna was typing. Yes. But if it drops even 1 degree from that, it won't boil 1 degree. So 1% in those instances make a big difference. But here at Pampered Chef, we talk about progress, not perfection. So that we're pampered, we're not perfect. And I believe that because lives, right? You're going to make mistakes. There's no such thing as being perfect. You're going to have really good days, man, where you kill it. You're at 130% and going strong. Why can't I find 10 of me that day? But I'm going to tell you what I really think the goal is that when you're at your lowest, that you don't jump off the roller coaster. So what I'm going to say, on the day that you only have 30% to give, if you give 30%, then you give 100%. So nobody can operate at 100% capacity all the time, but show up. You can show up for your business every day in some way, shape, or form. And if you put it down for a week like I did after conference and didn't walk, you can still put your shoes back on and get back out there and get back after it. And you know what? And forgive yourself for what you didn't do and get on it. And let's go. So we talk about the word yet. I know y'all seen this before. Well, I love the power of the word yet. Wherever you're at in your business today, yet is an incredibly powerful 3-letter word. So when we think about our mindset, we think about using the word yet. I want y'all to write it in really big letters if you're taking notes, or put it in your screensaver, because when you use the word yet, it can change your perspective on a lot of your life. My sales, or actually, I think the first one I said is no one is booking with me yet. I haven't promoted a new director yet. My sales are not very high. Say it with me. Yet. I saw Cora. My new consultants aren't doing much.
Yet.
I'm not a good recruiter.
Yet.
Yet. I'm not a director or above. Yet. You guys get it, right? The power of yet, the power of the possibilities of what this business can be, and how you can change it every single day. So the third C is courage. But is courage the absence of fear? Is it? No. No. Courage is not the absence of fear, but instead, courage is just the ability to face fear and then to act despite it. Because I'm going to tell y'all, fear is a natural response to challenges, to uncertainty, to danger. But courage allows us to push through those and take action when needed, even when we're feeling fear. Fear actually signals that something's at stake, that something's about to change, right? And courage just transforms that moment into an opportunity for growth, for resiliency, for accomplishment. So, what's holding you back? What are some of the fears right now that are keeping you from reaching your goals? The moment of truth again. Like, oh, Dee. So, how have they been impacting your life? And what have you been missing out because of the fears that are going on? I want you to write them down. Start to think about them, because, guys, you can coach yourself every day. You can change your perspective on what you feel, what you're feeding yourself, what you're telling your brain is important, and giving your brain the opportunity to give you a chance to be successful at it. And when you start doing that, just taking one step, even if you were to say, okay, today's Monday, the 28th, I'm going to take one step today to face this. It's not going to hold me back any longer. It's not going to have power on me any longer. You know, thinking about when you're coaching yourself, what is working, what is not, and what will I do differently today? Just today. Today's the only day you have to worry about. I will send recruiting messages today. Yes, Carolyn, I love it. The declaration. Okay, now y'all, if anybody's ever seen a little training with me before, you know I love my little videos. But I think I hit the sound button. Make sure I can hear it. So Marie, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to play this.
I absolutely love the quote from Glennon Doyle: if you can't beat the fear, just do it scared. Some people ask me, Ryan, do you get nervous before you speak? I say every time. They say, so what do you do about the nerves? Nothing. I just do it nervous. Sometimes you just do it tired. Sometimes you just do it depressed. Sometimes you just do it lonely. Sometimes you just do it broke. But you have to just do it. Ideal circumstances and ideal emotions may not come your way, but you don't need ideal to just do it anyways.
Does anybody know who that is? So
I don't. Who was that?
So his name is Ryan Leake. He's actually been with John Maxwell. He's an award-winning author and motivational speaker. He is amazing. Guys, he was at the Hyatt Regency in Chicago the Tuesday before conference started, and I met him. I've used that video since I've been here at Pampertip. I love him. I listen to him all the time. I actually walked up to him and I said, has anybody ever told you you look like Ryan Leake? And he said, No, I had never heard that. I've been asked if I was Ryan Leak because I am. And I was like, and then I fangirled like a crazy person, and I couldn't remember what my name was. And all I could tell him was how much I loved him of like 30 times. And I actually saw some other people that with Pampered Chef that I used to work with over in Sharon's Allen team, and I like called them over because they'd seen me use this video, and I'm like, and then I thought I'm gonna have a restraining order against me. But I don't think I did, but I love him. But what he's saying there is true, and this is why I like him so much, because I think he's phenomenal. You just do it scared. Just do it scared. Just do it tired. Just do it broke. Just do it. And that's the thing, is the actions are sometimes our belief will follow, but we don't get momentum before action. Man, is that a mistake people think? You got to think you've got to build this momentum. Yes, he has a podcast too, Christy. I'm not a big podcaster. I need to discover podcasting. So I'm telling you, just start taking action. The things will follow. So before I let you guys go, I want you to think about, like, if you were to re-identify yourself today, what would your identity statement be? I am the kind of pampered chef leader who. I'm going to give you some ideas. You know, if it's growth and mindset focus, it could be, I am the kind of pampered chef leader who believes growth and is always possible for me and my team. Or I am the kind of pampered chef leader who challenges excuses and chooses progress over perfection. Or maybe I am the kind of pampered chef leader who focuses on what I can control and I don't get stuck in what I can't. Or it could be action oriented. I am the kind of pampered chef leader who shows up even when I don't feel like it, because consistency builds trust. Or I am the kind of pampered chef leader who models the habits I want to see in my team. Or maybe it's heart and vision. Maybe it's, I am the kind of pampered chef leader that leads with heart, not just strategy, that casts a vision so my team sees what's possible for them, not just for me. Or maybe it's, I'm the kind of pampered chef leader that believes in people before they believe in themselves. I'm the kind of pampered chef leader that invites others to grow with me, to not just follow me. Or I am the kind of pampered chef leader that celebrates wins loudly and helps others rise. Think about that. Write your identity statement. What is it? How do you see yourself? How are you going to lead others? Whether it's your hosts, your new team members, even your customers, because your customers of today may be hosts of tomorrow, may be consultants of next week or next month or next year. Okay, so call to action. I just want you to think about some mindset practices. We've kind of talked about some things today. Could it be a morning affirmation? I want you to, which one of these would help you with your mindset that would be most useful, most impactful for where you're at today, Monday, July 28th, for the rest of this week, this month? We've got a few more days in it, for August, for where you see yourself this year. So, is it a morning affirmation? Is it maybe a before party mindset reset? Is it a 3 wins of the day? What went right today kind of a thing, to help you reset this mindset as you are adopting and recharging or refueling your growth mindset for what you want. And last but not least, commit. Challenge and commit. I love this little image. It's the domino effect, right? That winning state of mind, and how is it going to impact all the rest of your business? If you went up to that biggest domino, would you be able to knock it down by yourself? Probably not. But the start of that winning mindset will knock all of the rest of them down, help you get what you want. So what are you going to let go of? What are you going to claim for yourself? And what are you going to commit to practicing every day to make your goals come true? get an accountability partner, reach out to your leader. You've got a leader right here that has paved the way, that has walked the steps and is shining the light for you to follow behind her in Miss Marie Friday. You've got an incredible team and organization around you. The answer's always in the room. Connect, find your people. And you know what? Reach across an aisle and find people in other organizations too, because we're always better when we all lock arms. I think Pampered Chef is a big family, and that's what it means. So, guys, I can't wait to celebrate with you. I'm super excited about supporting you. Marie, thank you for letting me come on today and talk about mindset. And I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do. Thank y'all.
If you want to stop sharing your screen, so there we go. We can all see each other. I think this is the perfect follow-up to conference, because believe it, you will achieve it. I think success is a everyday kind of commitment. I remember Rory Vaden, the rent is due every day, right? And our belief every day we wake up is a new opportunity. I also want to say thank you for the shout out about being a national, because one of the things that's really great is I also get clued into like breaking news. And before I end this recording, I just want to say breaking news from home office. The team heard the nationals and other people say there is now a category for last chance products on your website. So you can get there by going to new and now and last chance, and there's a direct link to the products that are going to be dropped. So they are very responsive to us. And it's pretty cool to see how the interaction goes. So I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you for, oh, I need to be able to see my little bar underneath here. And